How's it? Welcome. Whack out another flower for you guys, a little small stream variant of an F flower that's a fish. For purposes of the video, I'm going to be tying on a size 16. Been using these Umpqua Dry Fly hooks. Great little hook, nice little upturn point, yeah, solid little hook. Going to be using Semperfli's Nano Silk in 24-0. I found the Nano Silks are quite slippery, so easiest way for me is I just lay down a small little bed of super glue on the shank, and just helps stop that thread slip when you're starting up. Lay down a small bed of thread. Remember, don't cut your nano, just use your scissors to pop it off. I'm using a Coq De Leon for a tail, 4 or 5 fibers, fish don't really mind, about the length of the shank. Tie it in on top, a little loose turn just to set it, and get your length right. There we go, I'm happy with that. Just cinch it down. A lot of guys like to just chop the CDL off, but I like to just try and really secure it, wrap it down sort of 3/4 of the hook shank length. Then what I do is I just fold it back and do 3 or 4 turns over it again. Just helps with a bit of a taper as well, but that CDL is now locked in properly. Then work your thread rearwards to where you tied in your CDL. For the body, I'm going to be using some Kapok dubbing. Absolutely love this stuff, it's so fun. So whether you're tying 14s, 22s, literally you can just barely cover the thread if you want to. It's just super fun, but buoyant. It's very, very buoyant. Just noodle that on. Less is more, like everything in fly tying. You can always build it up, can't take it off. And if you're new out there to fly tying, a little trick when you're laying down a noodle is to apply your material and only twist the material in one direction. If you roll it back and forth, you're not really achieving anything. It's just it's not going to tighten up. It's okay if you just roll it in one direction. There we go. Get it locked in. Slowly bring your noodle forward. Let's try and create a slight taper. So about 2 or 3 mils behind the hook eye. You can come back. Just need to add a wee bit more on there. It's a cool little flower. Caught quite a few fish on this. Let's create that little bit of a taper in the abdomen area. There we go. Here's your body, nice and neat. What we're going to do is we're going to use the new CDC tool. I've selected a little black CDC fiber. Run it up. Remove the waste. Just carefully roll that CDC up. I hate wasting, so I'll try and use all of the CDC if possible. Remove this little butt section. Preen the fibers to one side. There we go. Here's your little clump of CDC. Just trim out the butt section. Try and get all the sort of snipped ends aligned. Carefully, just with the loose wrap, just catching the CDC puff, 1 or 2 wraps. Make sure the CDC is sitting on top of the hook. You can just try and line it up a bit. Okay. Secure that little wing. Carefully remove the waste. Don't worry about the length of the wing yet, we'll trim it when we're done. This next step isn't really necessary, but it's just what I enjoy doing, is just giving it a bit of a head. First we need to, I'm using a Grizzly Hackle, just a little cape, just a short, select a short little Hackle fibre. Always like to open them up and just get a good gauge on the length of the hackle. Will work. These are quite small hackles, so you can use your hackle pliers just to open it up. Remove 1 or 2 of the sort of butt fibers off that hackle. Catch it in on the near side to me. Just a few locking turns. And what I like to do, like I say, it's not necessary, but I just add a little bit more kapok and a noodle on the head. I think it just gives it a bit more of a realistic finish to the sort of head abdomen area. Slightly wrap that noodle on. One wrap. Catch it in. Just pull everything back. Like I say, this hackle's not all that necessary, but just gives a cool little finish to the flower. A little bit of super glue on the thread. A few wraps just to lock it down. And remove your Nano. What I always do is this hackle on the underside, always just trim it a bit short. I like to have my gape of my hook really wide open. I don't like it to be sort of blocked off by anything. And you can just preen your CDC back a bit, just lift it up and pinch and remove it, just get its length. And there we go, there's a little F-flower variant. Works very well. Like I say, for the purpose of the video I've done it in a 16, but you can go 18 and 20, sort of, that comes out very nicely. Simple little flower, but very effective. Give it a try.